How many times has it occurred with you that you opened a newspaper and you wanted to, you went through financial data, you wanted to invest in some market, but you didn't know what to do?
And one thing that I've noticed is a lot of people don't come across as authentically or genuinely as they could when they are presenting online. And the reason is because the participants are not perceiving eye contact. Because the person who's presenting is looking at the screen, not the web camera above.
Where people could be isolated inside the event, so you've got outdoor events and so on like that. You can actually be isolated in a comfortable environment where you can actually sit down on the couch.
Do you know when you come across another person wearing that awesome pair of shoes that you just must have, and when you ask them where you got it, overseas. What do you do now? Such a big problem for a shopaholic. Imagine an app that you could use to find those shoes on an online store by simply taking a photo. Like this. I'm not taking a photo, but anyway. Awesome, right? Don't need to revolutionize e-commerce and let's build this thing. I need developers, business people, marketing people, anyone who thinks that's an awesome idea and likes shopaholic. Thank you.
So how about the tipping system? Where is it sports everywhere? Judo, table tennis, badminton, second division soccer. Sports that nobody's really got the advantage. Let me know will be the universal verification solution that the user can request anything to the system, like let me know if Lady Gaga releases the next album. Let me know when iPhone 6 is launched. Let me know if iPhone 6 price drops to $99. Let me know if any of my friends are sick, and the list goes on.
So for the first half of this year, I went to Sweden for the exchange, and it was the best time of my life. The reason being is because I had a buddy. It was a local Swedish person, and he helped me settle in, took me to see all the best places in the city, and showed me the hidden gems of the city. Like, we went up this big hill on a snowy day and just went down on it with a garbage bag. It was so fun, and it was an experience you cannot get from traveling alone or with a tour group. So my idea is to get a website where you can find these travel buddies and just go from there. So what I need are developers and marketers and pretty much anyone that's interested in traveling. And thank you.
Find a profitable product to sell.
My idea is to build a mobile application for my startup called Campus to help these two groups of individuals connect directly.
Hi everyone, my name is Mason. I'm an architecture student. The idea I'm coming up with is called DIY, do it yourself. So the problem that I'm trying to address is that architecture design work is expensive. Customers are detached from the design process and alienated. There's also many architecture graduates that don't find employment, but they still have the skills. So the solution is an online DIY design database that allows designers to upload unique building designs, as well as designs that use standardized modular components. And designers can make money with their design when it's used and the blueprints are printed. Customers can also type in the parameters, such as the site dimensions and building functions, and ultimately pay less for blueprints because the same blueprints will be used over and over again for similar sites. And they can then take those blueprints to be further developed by existing architects if necessary. So I need construction people, business people, freelancers, website developers, designers, anyone in marketing, and preferably a billionaire as well.
If you release your phone from your hand, it falls to the ground. Before it gets to the ground, this device will actually close the screen so that it doesn't break. So
this is how it works. We give you a card, and when you swipe it at the checkout counter, it grabs all the universal product codes, or UPCs, from the register, and then matches the UPCs in our database. This way you get a clear breakdown of what you're actually buying and getting over time.
Hey guys, my name is Stu. I'm a law student at Adelaide University, and this weekend I plan to reinvent the way people travel and find recommendations. So that was very melodramatic, I understand, but just by way of background, last year I went on exchange and I did a bit of traveling around Southeast Asia, and one of the most difficult things that I encountered was finding and the process of researching new places to go, what to see and things to do. And the reason for this was because a lot of the guides like Loading Planet were not written, or they were written for broad audiences, and they weren't necessarily written for people like me and my friends, what my friends are into. And sometimes the best things are the things your friends recommend. Fortunately, many of us do this already on Instagram, Twitter. We post about things that we enjoy. And so what my plan is to leverage off of these existing platforms like Instagram and Twitter to create and aggregate a list of recommendations of things to do when you're traveling. It doesn't necessarily need to be by traveling, but it could be things like restaurants and outlets, and so following people.
Why not combine cycling with public transport, where you can cycle to your bus stop or a bus stop close enough that you feel comfortable and not on a busy main road. Then you can hook your bike onto the front of the bus if we develop like bike racks, and then you can bus the rest of the way into the city.
I need a web designer, I need someone with good woodworking skills, someone who can sew, who's good at designing.
I want to use technology that's already out there, which is your smartphone, to allow customers to have access to their data simply by taking a photo of their meter, which converts to a read that can be visualized, shared, compared with other users.
And our idea is to introduce smart home system solution to the market. We have a system product, and we have product that's focused in Australian market. Compared with others, we not only control lights, curtain, aircon, other in-house, but most importantly, we use robots to control everything. Everything. Yes. For the income and security system, we use mobile, we use robots to educate the children and take good care of the old man in-house. And we want to offer our clients a complete solution, not separated. Well, it's always happening in Australia. And our mission is to make people's life more efficiency and convenience, and obviously that's the trend.
I want people passionate about event. They have interest about sponsorships. They want to build something beautiful, a premium event.
This is my 5th startup weekend.
An app that looks at your Facebook and connects you with people around you. Imagine Tinder, but a little bit more intelligent. How many of you guys here have volunteered before and love doing it? Show of hands. I'm here. Yeah, excellent. All right, my name is Sam. I'm a volunteer, and I realized that less than few international volunteer organizations recruit teams of volunteers to a diverse range of professional skills, and even if they do, volunteers often end up just laying bricks or teaching English or whatever it is, and that's good. But that means that rural communities don't really benefit from the volunteers' full range of expertise. And what is really needed is a platform that can match these skilled volunteer teams with the communities that have a specific issue that can use the expertise of these volunteers. Alright, so Lend a Skilled Hand will be a not-for-profit that will provide this match to sustainable holistic development for these communities and a more fulfilling experience for volunteers. To build this, I'll need front and back end developers to build a platform and a database. I need designers, people with experience in working and growing non-profits, and if you're passionate about creating sustainable features as you are about building sustainable
I'm Sasha and I'm from HIPA, helping young people achieve. Folks, when you're in year 10, year 11 and year 12, nobody tells you you can be an entrepreneur or a business person. So inspired by the Startup Weekend, we want to create the Busy Weekend. B-I-Z-I, Busy Weekend for schools. So I'm looking for anybody that's anybody that's fanatical about helping young people understand that they can be an entrepreneur and they can start in year 10, year 11 and 12 and don't have to wait. Please join us and save some lives from boring, old, everyday jobs.
So if anyone's interested, I don't care if you're a web designer, I don't care if you're a marketer, the only thing is important is I need someone who's ready to change people's lives in Australia. That's very important, that's it.
I'm an aspiring writer. The idea I present today is from the book I'm working on, and I figured instead of letting people read about it, I may as well get a team together to actually make it happen.
My service is to actually connect you, people I would like to see that van with the actual van.
The idea is simple. Imagine that if I arrive in a totally foreign countries, I don't speak that language, and we have 2 phones, we can connect it. I speak with my mom in Chinese, maybe say, where is the toilet? And then it translates directly on her phone. That's the language that was in her language, so that, and then she can reply on her phone in her language, and it's transferred directly back into Chinese. In my phone, oh okay, well we are face-to-face translated.
What I'd like to do is create an app that makes it easier to take away the headache, coordinating and inviting people to a barbecue. I can coordinate who's bringing what, who's bringing chips, who's bringing beer, chair. If at a restaurant, they can definitely
today.